Hey y'all, welcome to Maui Mysteries, the channel that brings you multi-dimensional content, which means that the readings are from a broad and expanded point of view and that they're not for a specific time but should resonate with you guys whenever you come across them. So I don't resonate with the word starseed. Like, I think that word was cool in like the 90s, right? Because that population of this kind of people, like it was like that, nearly the seeds, but like talking to you guys and feeling out your energy, those of you who resonate with this energy, yeah, it doesn't feel like seed, bro. So I don't resonate with like star seed. I'm not a star seed. So yeah, star beings, that's what we're going to be calling you guys from now on, star beings. Now this reading is going to take it a step further, because I think if you're resonating, that's another thing, if you were resonating with the star seed concept, maybe you were on some like you are a descendant of, like, maybe, star beings that came to earth and interacted with other people. You see, I don't resonate with the entire concept, like the whole thing. Cause for me, this thing yeah will come to earth, ing. It's just like, it's weird. It's like, it screams Hollywood and that idea of how this works. And for me, as someone that actually interacts with star beings, that's not how they relay the story to me. These beings relay their story to me as them being interdimensional beings that, yes, they're called extraterrestrial or like whatever, and the idea is that they come from other planets, but we don't understand that other planets represent other dimensions. It's not so much an off earth thing. Earth is multi-dimensional, just like you are. Earth is multi-dimensional. Venus is another dimension of Earth. Jupiter is another dimension. To say another dimension of Earth, is that weird? Maybe that's weird. Maybe that's weird. But Venus, Saturn, Jupiter, the Pleiades, the Alpha Centauri, it's other dimensions. It's not so much other rocks, more than it represents other dimensions. And these star beings that you call the Orions and the Andromedans and the Sirians, they're from other dimensions. Some of them same frequency as Earth, some of them higher frequency, some of them lower frequency. I'm not gonna say that. So yeah. Okay, so also particularly to the people that have tuned in today, I don't think I've ever spoken about it like this, but this is very interesting how this is coming up. I love this energy. It's so playful. It's so, because the people I'm talking to today, you're not so much descendants, more than you guys are more like hybrids. Like you guys are half human, half star being. I don't know how that happened, but it's in your DNA. The only reason why you've been portraying like more human aspects is because that's the part of your DNA that's activated. That's the part of your DNA that society like always activates. Your other parts of your DNA are never like, prompted by society. You kind of have to do that yourself through channels like this and through other like spiritual content. But essentially, you guys have star being blueprints and templates within your being. So This reading is actually quite exciting for me. It was prompted by a conversation that I had yesterday, in the comments, and this person's energy, like, I don't want to say your name because I don't want you to feel like I'm outing you or something, because I don't think you're even aware, but like, oh my God, there was an aspect to this person's energy that I've been feeling collectively for a while, but I wasn't talking about it because I don't know, I was waiting for like the confirmation basically. And yesterday, while I was speaking to this person, I got that confirmation. Like, it's such a beautiful energy. It's very indigo energy, but there's another aspect to it. And that's what we're going to talk about it today, because the aspect about it is this hybrid part. It's this half human, half star being. And yeah, basically, like, these people, I feel like saying, like, come out wherever you are. Because, like, there was previously this fear of exposing oneself, or as acting out this part of one's nature, like, fear of persecution, fear of being different, because these people, you're already different, you're already what the world calls weird, right? You already kind of like your own company, because that's just where you feel safer. Can you see how it's very similar to the whole indigo um nature? But there's another side to this. There's something like playful in terms of exploration. Some of your DNA heritage, or your DNA heritage, your star being heritage, or your star being bloodline involves people beings that were scientists, right? That were explorers. So when they did come to this dimension that we call Earth, they were basically in the labs, like testing out stuff. I kept quiet there because I kind of realized where the hybridization comes from. I mean, this is naughty, but also I understand why they did that, because they were curious, right? Like, mixing their DNA with human DNA, and like, you're the result, fam. You are the result of that. And I didn't want to make this reading and kind of call you guys like mutants, because I felt like that's gonna, it has like a negative connotation. But like, scientifically, this is like a mutation of DNA. It is like, because it's different. And you might be asking, so, but how come if I like go to the hospital, they're gonna see my DNA as normal or whatever? Cause covert, because it's not for everybody to see. Because, and here's the funny thing, you people, you're gonna find that you can't remember the last time you had to go to hospital for like certain tests or whatever, because at some point this part of your being started coming alive, and it functions in a different way than someone who is not a hybrid, than someone who is not a star being hybrid. It's very, very self-sufficient. It's very, very frequency technology based. It's very much I don't want to use those words. Give me another word. Self-reliant. It's very much self-reliant. It doesn't revolve around the medicines and the many things that are like out here. That's not to say that you don't take certain medicines in order to help you calibrate certain downloads that you get, certain information, or even just certain changes in your body. Like, you definitely do, but you're on the lower dose spectrum. Like, there's people that are like, why the fuck would I take a Panado? A Panado doesn't do anything. You guys take a Panado. Panado does everything for you. Like, nale abantwana, it's perfect for you. In fact, kids medicines is like, it works perfectly for you, because you don't need that like high dosage, like whatever stuff that's mostly used like in the pharmaceutical industries like today type of thing, right? um I'm also talking to people who maybe in the past you have used other substances in order to, I don't know, you could have been using the substances for escapism. You could have been using the substances where you feel like it was for you to access other frequencies, but you're gonna find that you are starting to lower your dosage of certain substances, be it alcohol, be it cannabis, be it psilocybin, like whatever it is. Peyote, is that how you pronounce it? Peyote? Yeah. At the same time, some of you are getting an opportunity to do stuff like those ayahuasca like type of trips, or it's something that you've been thinking about that you would love to be able to go to the jungle and find a trusted shaman and take an ayahuasca trip. Again, you're being called to those kind of things. It's this part of your DNA. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. What else? Let's pull some cards. Oh, okay, cool. So this part of you, you guys, this the reason why it's coming up today is because it's about to take on a more active role in your life. Like you have activated. A lot of you have been going through like a purge in the last like 3 to 4 weeks, basically since the eclipse. Since eclipse season, shit has been weird, and it's been feeling like it's just been a lot. Like purge, I think, is the perfect word. Like you've basically been purging these old ideas of yourself and these old ideas of how to express your spiritual nature. It's like you're realizing that you might have been restricting yourself within your expression of that which you call your spiritual nature. And I think you're also understanding that it's no longer sufficing to refer to these aspects of yourself as like your spiritual nature, because it's actually your nature. And I've been doing that on purpose. I wanted you to find that out, like, gradually, that this thing that you call your spiritual side or whatever, it's not a side, it's not an aspect, it's your nature. It's just what I would call like your outer nature in relation to what society tells you your nature is, which is like really a limited idea. Mostly rooted in like duality and stuff like that. This aspect of you guys is like very much expanded from the idea of duality. Um yeah, it's very much, I think, it's very much in a non-duality playground, for those of you who resonate with the concepts of non-duality. It's more than non-duality though, but I'm just saying that so that you can better understand what I'm saying. It's expansion, it's consciousness expansion. Your consciousness is expanding even more. And this purge that you were going through, I think you're starting to realize now, like, it, because I think maybe you might have felt like it's like some kind of a dark night of the soul or something like that, and now you're like, it wasn't anything like that. It was kind of like having oil on you and not knowing that you had oil on you, and then someone comes and washes the oil off of you, and you thought this oil was you, it's part of who you are. So the last couple of weeks it felt painful because it was like, what is going on, what are you doing? And it's like, no, this part of your blueprint of your DNA was washing off the parts that it no longer needs, because it no longer needs to hide. It no longer needs to hide. You have connected with this part of yourself even without knowing, deep enough that you have developed a certain strength. That strength literally comes from you expressing yourself truthfully, and you've done that enough that this part of you feels safe to come out and play. That's why I was like, Starbeings, come out wherever you are. Oh, yo, it's it's your time in the sun. Like all this time where you lived in the shadows, and I'm talking to this aspect of you now. I'm talking to the star being hybrid aspect of you. All this time where you had to live in the shadows because you were being diagnosed as shy and all types of other things that actually it's not true. You were just lacking understanding of yourself and how you relate to this dimension called Earth, because a part of you is from another dimension, be it Venus, be it Jupiter, be it Alpha Centauri, be it yeah, be it Orion or any of the other ones that cannot be named. Factors, and it's okay. You don't need a name. Like it doesn't matter. You're gonna find out more information about that part of your DNA through being. It's not about reading up on it. It's not about, you know, having a general like idea tell you who you are. It's about feeling yourself out, and that way expressing a more authentic version of yourself. And yes, there is like that part of you that's like cautious, and like there is that part of you, mostly the human side, talking to this part of you being like, what the fuck are you doing? Like that's the part of you that feels too exposed, that feels maybe vulnerable in the last couple of weeks, because it's like, no, bring the oil back. I felt safe with that. So in other words, bring back the conformity and the darkness where I can hide because I feel safer there. But like, you don't have to do that anymore. Listen, you don't have to do that anymore. Some of you with this card, Lionsgate, is gonna be a like, it's gonna feel like a not initiation, because initiation is like a jungle gym. This is more like ukuphakamisa a certain spirit within you. Is a graduation, maybe, should we call it that? Stargate, the Lion's Gate portal is going to be where you completely unravel this aspect of yourself, or like these aspects of yourself. Ooh. So another thing that's coming up is that a lot of you, it's not just one um star being species that is part of your DNA. It's actually more than one. I'm getting splice. Splice was intense. Splice was intense. Do you know what I remember mostly from the movie Splice, right? Is that every time that that being, every time something's about to happen where she's gonna die, she would what do I say? How do I call this? Like, she would adapt. She would suddenly quickly adapt to that situation, and all of a sudden she's not gonna die because she's adapted. There's a part where they try to drown her, and all of a sudden she opens gills on the side of her neck. She didn't have those before. But do you understand this limitation that was set up against her? She would overcome it by quickly adapting. And that, if you're wondering if you're one of the people I'm talking about, this is one of the characteristics. I'm not saying you grow gills when you're bathing or something. I'm saying that in your normal life, as soon as something feels like it's gonna end you or it's gonna finish you, your body adapts. And all of a sudden, you're good to go. There's the part where she was about to fall off the roof and basically fall to her death. Does the bitch not grow wings? And okay, let's not go deep into space because I just remembered the ending. That shit was dark. So let's not. Okay, cool. But my point was that the ability to adapt to certain situations like quickly, yeah, that's you. But something else I wanted to mention is that, like I said, you have different star being. You're like, there's different star being species being activated within your DNA. It's not just one. So basically, it's almost like you, as the body, as the human, as the person, you are housing all these different star beings. You're like a mothership. That's what a mothership is. On a mothership, you find beings of different dimensions. That's what Earth is. Earth is a mothership. Because on Earth, you find like all these beings from all the dimensions. Like, you can access from Earth, you can access like all the dimensions. And you are resonating very much with that. You might also be resonating with entities like Unomkhulwane, because Unomkhulwane is like that. She be like that. Unomkhulwane is like a portal. She's like a gateway to other dimensions. That's why in some art forms they represent her with like with more than two breasts. Like there's other like there's cultures where Numkulani is like represented with like four breasts and stuff like that. Because it represents that. Like her blueprint is the mother blueprint. So that's why it can connect you to other dimensions and can connect you to ancestry that you have from other dimensions. Oh, that's what that card is about. Yeah, a lot of you are gonna be yeah. A lot of you are gonna be connecting with the with the entity Unumkulane. She's going to help you expand your star being connection. Listen, you're in for such a joyride because also this road is paved with love, by the way, love for you specifically. For those of you who are outside of like South Africa and like let's say you have no idea who Nomkulane is, so basically within your culture, whatever entity represents the mother, that's the entity that's going to help you here. I guess that's why mothership came up, because you are resonating on that frequency. You are resonating on the frequency of the mothership, that type of energy. And that's because you're holding space within you for multidimensionality. So this is how it's expressing itself. Again, this is going to be a very fun journey for you. Um, it's paved with love. and there's a lot of healing here for your inner child type of thing. So if you have like childhood traumas that you're still needing to work through, that yeah, listen. If you have childhood traumas that you're still needing to work through, if you have like that reading I did with the mother-father wound, if there's still wounds that are prevalent within you from those types of shadow aspects, this is gonna help you work through that. This star being hybrid aspect of you, and I say hybrid because that's very important. um this is a union between your star being self and your human self, because the traumas are coming from your human side, and you're gonna find that a lot of your childhood traumas really just were around you hiding this star being aspect of you. So not being a hybrid, basically very separate. A lot of your childhood traumas and even some of your like teenagehood like traumas is from not being able to express yourself completely, having to hide certain parts of you because you observed society and realized you're not like these people. So I'm either gonna have to pretend to be like these people, but mostly, yeah, a lot of you, those traumas come with like abandonment and having to be alone because you're so different from the people around you. And you're also gonna realize there's some anger there. There's some anger towards your family because of that moment when you realized, I am not like them, and that made it so that you felt separate from them. That made it so that you felt alone. You felt like they could be together, they could be a family, they understand each other, but you were alone. And you don't realize this, but there's some anger there about that towards them. But you're older now, you know that's not their fault. The same way it wasn't your fault that you're different. It wasn't their fault. They weren't specifically trying to make you the black sheep. They weren't specifically trying to outcast you or put you on the outside. To be honest, your family loves you. But as soon as you became aware of the fact that you were different, it did change the frequency. And yeah, there's space here for forgiveness on both sides. There's space here for understanding through expanding your perspective on the matter. So yeah, that's what I have for you guys today. You'll notice that if you've booked a reading in the last 3 weeks, I now schedule readings for between Thursday and Sunday. Okay, so that's why I on Thursday I be like, I'll see you guys on Monday, because this is now my space to do personal readings. So yeah, I'll see you guys on Monday. If you enjoyed the reading, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to book a personal reading, all the information is in the description box. If you want to book a star being reading, that's under the higher self reading. So you'll book the higher self reading and then just let me know that you want to look into your star being template, or the star being part of your DNA. Okay, cool. Enjoy the weekend, you guys.